now. Cause I'm a rider.
Hey.
Cause I'm a soul survivor.
Hey.
Everybody know the game don't stop. Wanna make it to the top when your ass get popped now.
If you're a rider,
Yeah.
I'm a soul survivor. I can't sleep. We live in the hit.
Oh my god, that is the longest intro to the worst song anyone has ever heard.
Soul Survivor is the worst song, bro.
It was a classic back in 2005. But like we're in the year 2023. We're in the year of Ice Spice. Do you know who Ice Spice is?
I'm
Ice Spice. No, it's not unfortunate. Ice Spice is the best best rapper. Who needs Jay Z when you have a girl saying they say I'm good enough, Hannah Montana? I ain't never heard lyrics so powerful. It changed my life.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
It sounds like she's the new Kanye.
She's a new Kanye, and I'm officially a munch. Anyway, welcome to the Unsolicited Counseling Podcast. We're your host. I'm your boy Martin.
I'm your boy Jermaine.
And we're really excited to come with the new episode for you today. As we said last week, we're getting back to our roots. We're feeling a little goofy because we're back to drinking. We had some alcohol in our systems this week. Okay. We had some mad good Roman Rooster chicken.
Yes.
I don't want to. I feel like, what's the name? Was it Popeyes? Was it Roman Rooster?
Chick-fil-A.
Was it Chick-fil-A? It was all the above, but better. I think Roman Rooster. What's your top?
Top 5 chicken sandwiches?
Top 5 chicken sandwiches.
Bro.
Let's start with number 5. What you got for number 5?
Number 5, McChicken.
I agree with you 100%. What's your number 4?
Number 4 is, what's the BK chicken one? I don't know. Whatever the Burger King one. That's my number 4. The original chicken sandwich that was also featured on Beef. If you haven't seen Beef.
I have not seen Beef. I'm still working on it. I'm working my way there. I'm going to go Zaxby's with my 4th.
Zaxby's?
Zaxby's chicken sandwich. That's my 4th pick.
I've never, Me
neither, but I know it's better than a McChicken.
All right.
What's your 3rd pick?
My 3rd pick. Oof.
I feel like top. Oh God, here we go.
Contentious. 3rd pick, Chick-fil-A.
That's my 3rd pick. It's the holy chicken. I know you're trying to get some fans with that pick.
Listen, bro, the Chick-fil-A, it always be hitting, but it just didn't break number 2. I know, bro. There's 2 new people in the game. Like,
I hear you.
All right, what's your 3rd pick?
Hey, my 3rd pick.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Go ahead. Speak your truth, King.
My 3rd pick is also Chick-fil-A.
Okay, all right.
I know. I just want to put some pain. I want to make people fear it. But like realistically speaking, the Popeyes chicken sandwich is far superior to the Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Yes, it was worth all the gunshots.
I don't know about that.
The people constantly fighting over the chicken sandwich in these streets, bro. I get it. I get it. I want there. I heard people die over a chicken sandwich. It won't me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because we live in a nicer area.
I mean, where my parents live.
Did you go to that Popeyes or did you go to the one around the corner?
Well, I go to. Of course, I live here more than I live back home.
What I look like going home and get shot for a chicken sandwich, but I can go down the street and get one.
No, they're getting scraps for that from it. They're just like fighting.
I come to find out that like when you go to the hood to get chicken sandwiches, they are more spicy. They have more flavor than the gentrified chickens that we have up here in Rockville, Maryland. No shade at Rockville, but what is your number 1 chicken sandwich of all time?
Number 1 chicken sandwich, and I might be wrong, but I saw this when I did a Google search trying to look at the menu today. Is Roman Rooster's black owned?
Yeah, it is.
You're lying.
It is. It used to be a food truck.
Bro.
So it started off as a food truck in the DC area. I used to go there all the time. So as soon as I heard Roman Rooster was blowing up and they had a store, I was like, we have to go there. Didn't I tell you that? So we have to go to Roman Rooster like immediately.
Hands down, the best fried chicken place.
We waited forever for that.
Are you serious?
Like they had the signage up for probably 4 or 5 months. It was in the middle of the pandemic. We just waiting for it to open. I was going for my walks. I was just like, just waiting. Kind of like Rasa down the street, too. I was like, just waiting for it to open and I'm going to go visit. But Rasa's something else on the list. But surely, we both choose Roman Rooster.
If you haven't gotten it, get it.
Get that shit.
Bro.
Best chicken sandwich.
It will change your life. We have friends that came here that ain't know about it. They know about it now.
Yeah.
I'd rather say Roman Rooster, hands down, number 1 pick. But as we talk about Roman Rooster chicken stuff today, we're gonna talk about like I already mentioned Beef. If you've seen Beef, you've seen how like things can make someone spiral out of control, make the game and lose trust in people in an instant. And today we're gonna be talking about trust. We're gonna be talking about trust. Last week we talked about loneliness, and sometimes loneliness is caused by someone breaking your trust and you severing that ties. But before we get into the deep part about our podcast, because like we said, we're going back to our roots. We trying, we trying. It's hard out here, but I think it's because we're so happy. That might be it.
Yeah, I think we have full bellies. We have alcohol in our system. We have nothing but good vibes. This is the fourth time I'm seeing you in the past week.
Week.
I guess technically my first time was over FaceTime. We recorded last week for you guys.
That's true.
But we're back here in person. We're excited to have this podcast for you, and now we're getting to these deep topics. So the mood is high right now, but it's going to drop a little bit.
All right, we'll see.
Trust is that's one of those topics that really hit me hard.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I do want to mention something, but before we even get into there, what we drinking?
Oh yeah. So today, well, if Catherine is listening,
Shout out to Catherine.
I'm sober today.
Wink, wink.
But yeah, no. So today we're drinking the what is it? Ginger and Fred. Ginger and Fred, as my wife calls it. Ginger and Fred. It is a mixture of grapefruit juice, cranberry juice. Oh, you guys can't see it. There it is. It's a mixture of grapefruit juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, and there's supposed to be ginger ale in here, but I couldn't find it, so I replaced it with gin. So
Okay.
we have gin in here instead. It's a really good drink. It's very welcoming. It's like a beach type drink. Like it's refreshing. It's really good to just sip on. It tastes like juice. I don't taste any alcohol in it, which is probably the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. I put a good amount of gin in here, so we're gonna see where it takes us on this trip. But if I had to rate it out of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give this. This might be shocking.
All right. Is it gonna break it? Is this gonna be the first drink to break it? Go for it.
I'm gonna give it a 8.3.
Jesus.
8.3.
Wow. Yeah, I heard it here first. This man actually made a drink that was higher than a 7 that wasn't that mocktail we made like a couple months ago.
Oh, it would have been a 10 if it had alcohol.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I would give this an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I was actually feeding gin today, so I was like, this is right on time, especially during it's hot. Now, bro, it's like upwards of like 75 degrees like in the evening, so this is exactly what I needed. And before we go on that topic, I already skipped.
Yeah.
How you feeling, bro?
I was like, man, we ain't gonna talk about ourselves no more.
No, we ain't talking about.
That's what the whole podcast is about. I trusted you to get me to this point, and you ain't did it.
I fumbled the ball. I fumbled the ball. Hey, you fumbled last week. I fumbled this week.
Hey, man, we all can be Mark Sanchez and say we can get the buff fumble and get back up on our feet.
Which God did.
Anyway, how I'm doing? I'm feeling good right now. As I said last week, played the Star Wars game. I'm almost done, so I'm really excited about that. Because, Friday, May 23rd, May 12th.
Yes.
That's the Zelda.
That's Zelda.
If y'all don't know, I'm playing Zelda all weekend. If you want the podcast out next week, it ain't coming.
It ain't coming.
Watch Zelda first.
Watch this man be like, hey, we got a YouTube. Hey, hit me up on YouTube Live. See me playing something.
Yeah, bro, listen, if y'all want some gaming content, just let me know. We got the technology now.
We have the tech.
Yeah, we can get our own Twitch channel. You know what? Coming soon. 2025.
All right, put this man on it, but he's like, I'm putting a Twitch channel. We're gonna have a call-a-thon, serious call radio station. Bro. We blowing up. Unsolicited podcast gonna be everywhere.
Yeah, I just gotta start boosting these posts, pay us some money for that. But anyway, we ain't talking about that. No, so yeah, playing that game, that's good. Work-wise, it's busy season, so these next couple of months, we're at the end of our reporting phases for our work, so it's just really busy. A lot of times me going in the office, which is tiring for me. Today was an office day.
Yeah.
So trying to find time to unwind a little bit before we got into this podcast. But, I always bring the energy when I see you, when I get to podcast. It's really fun. I was tired before we started this, and now I have all this energy and excited. So, and, like I say, life's good. Wife's good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Actually, I'm doing great. So I had therapy today. Fire, bro. I had a moment in therapy, and my therapist had to actually come and say yo, you're fine. I came into her and was like, you wonder, you get a secret suspicion things are too good. Am I okay? Am I going regressing, going back? And I was like, I feel like I'm doing so good that it's a lie. I was like, and then she asked me these questions and stuff. She was like, from what I see, like, you're doing great. So all this stuff is in your head, blah blah blah. Like you're doing fine. Keep up the good work. So got A pluses from my therapist, my mentor. I talked to my mentor, and he said like I'm doing good too, bro. I'm picking up my habits again. I hit up that reminder app, so now I'm on that reminder. I got that reminder, and also, I feel like I'm also increasing my influence of people around me. I got some of my coworkers starting to work out. We got people on the podcast, so I feel like the effort we're putting in is like slowly coming in. It's not even about like rushing. It's like it's all coming to me. It feels good, bro. It feels good. So yeah, out saying super tired. Had a coffee from the road from work with free coffee, so that was like dope.
The perks of working.
Perks of working in the office of Hilton. Shout out! No, I ain't shouting out Hilton. Fuck y'all.
Shout out to Anna Kendrick. I heard you got sponsored there, so
Yeah,
hit me up. I'm trying to put me on.
Put me on
Put me on, Anna.
Pitch Perfect 4.
Yeah.
But
Give me on 5. I don't want to be on the same one. You know, we odds out here. So.
We odds out here. Hey, sometimes you the Jonah Hill to buy.
Are you Channing Tatum? I'm joking. You know what? I'll take that. I'll take the Jonah Hill moniker.
No, but for real, you gotta switch it up. 25 Jump Street. Let's do that. 25 Jump Street. But all right, to get on the topic of today, from my therapy session, I learned like how to increase boundaries and what to do when people break your trust, and really how important it is trust and what is trust. So today we brought by the letter T, trust.
Brought to you by letter T. Not only is it a good shirt, it's also stands for trust. I didn't know where I was going with that. I was hoping I found it along the way.
So, man, I've been around too many kids.
You can also drink it.
You can drink it.
Tea. It's good for you.
Tea is good for you. Yeah.
And you can drink it when you're talking shit about somebody. Yo, give me that tea. Yo, spill some tea. Actually, spill the tea. What is trust to you?
All right, trust to me. Look, we're gonna get deep in this. Trust to me is something that's easily given and received, but quickly easy to be broken. No, I'm sorry. It's hard to build. My bad. Trust is hard to build, but so easily broken. Trust is one of these things that's like it's like a glass ball, like a crystal ball or something. Anything crystal. It feels heavy. It feels like personal. It feels like something tangible. But if you slip up once, it's gone, shattered in the wind. It's hard to piece back together. So trust to me is like it's crazy. It's crazy how powerful trust is because I don't know. I've had experiences where I felt like someone that I trusted would be there, forever to have my back, whatever. But then as soon as like things got hard or when things got rough, it would just be like instant, just turn your back on it. And now I can't trust them. That what Young Metro said.
Yeah, bro. Yo, what's the 3 people you trust the most?
Dylan.
I was gonna say my mom, my wife, Jermaine. You know, so you ain't say Young Metro. If Young Metro don't trust you, I'ma shoot.
But no, big facts. Like the fragility of trust is so big, and I know a lot of like friends and people that have things have just crumbled when like their partner or their like parent, like I'll use a personal story. So for me, and I don't know if this will help listeners, but if y'all have personal stories about trust and stuff, please let us know. Like I said, we're trying to build a community and like work this stuff out together. So with my dad,
Oh boy,
we're bringing up
it's
daddy.
time for daddy trauma.
We're bringing up
Daddy wasn't there.
My dad said, "Hey, yo, son, I'm gonna get cigarettes." I'll be back in 30 minutes.
That did not happen.
No,
oh my god. Don't you dare do your dad like that. Now, don't drag him on his podcast. He just got home 45 minutes later.
Exactly,
That's
bro.
it.
He came back like when I graduated college. Anyway,
Damn, that's a real story on my end. That's crazy. Go ahead.
But when you like, I was using like as a kid, but with my dad, like someone that you looked up to, trust and stuff. You're like, it's your parent, right? You're like, hey, they ain't gonna do me no wrong. They only looking out the best for me, right? So when my dad, I think we talked about our dads before in a couple podcasts ago. If y'all know, like my dad had some serious issues while we were growing up, and in our jail, he was addicted to drugs and stuff. The whole gambit, right? But I trusted him. I was like, yo, he my pops. He gonna look up and he gonna be there. He's my day one. He's the dude I'm looking up. I want to be like him.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes up to me and said, "Hey, yo, son, I need something from you," I'm like, "Dad, whatever you want, you got it." Hey, yo, so I'm gonna need some money. I'm like, what? 11, 12 years old. I'm like, bro, I don't got no money. I'm like, oh, I got this allowance. He was like, whatever you got. I need it. I need it for the house. I need to pay rent for the house. And I was like, I got $20. He's like, bet. And I was like, okay, that's for the house. It's for the keep the lights on. When couldn't get money because he kept taking my allowance, and I was like, and I was still trusting him. Like I'm trusting him. He's doing the right thing. He was like, hey, I'm gonna need those video games. You can sell them at GameStop, right? And I'm like, yeah, you can sell them at GameStop. You gotta,
You ain't getting much.
I was like, well, back then you were able to get a lot.
Oh, GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop. Yeah. Now there's like $10.
Like, yo, this game just came out yesterday. Oh, cool. I can give you about 5 nickels for it.
Right, exactly. I'll give you GameStop credit. Or EB Games. That's when it was EB Games.
Oh man, yeah, that's what it was before GameStop.
When they were actually gave you a lot more money. But then it just kept going. He kept taking and taking and taking, and then I was like, I don't trust. I was like, as I got older, because it kept happening, I was like, I don't think this man needs it for a mortgage. I don't think he needs it for a mortgage.
Wait, when was that moment that hit you where you're like, you don't need this for my mortgage?
You don't need this for like stuff. You just need it for whatever your habit. I didn't realize what a habit was. I didn't know he was addicted. So that moment, that started when I was 10. And that moment I had that realization. It was high school. It was like, I was 10th grade. So he was doing it for like damn near like 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, from 5th grade to 10th grade. So 5 years. And I was like, as I got mature, I realized I was like, nah, this ain't it. And then at that point, it ruined our relationship. When I finally figured it out, this man would be right on the porch, be like, hey, yo, can I get some money? I was like, wow, what you need it for? I'll give it to mom's. No, I'll give it to. I was like, it's for mortgage, right? It's mortgage, right? He was like, no, it's a. And then he started being honest. He was like, oh, it's for cigarettes or it's for whatever. I'll pay you back. And I was like, you ain't paying me back. You ain't paying me back, bro. I'm doing it because you're just going to keep asking me, going to go behind us, our family and stuff. I'm just giving it to you so I don't have to hit my mom's, right?
So did you feel betrayed in that moment?
Oh,
I mean, like, this is your, not even a father figure, this is your father. Yeah. So you have this, like, unspoken trust, like you know that he's looking out for you. At least you feel this way coming up. You're like, he would never do anything to hurt me. Like, and I have to help my family because like this is blood. Blood is everything. Family is everything. So we're all working together to prosper our lives up. So how did it? I guess what happened in your brain when you realized that he was using this for like cigarettes or bad habits type stuff?
Well, it was like what else do I know is like true, because that was true. Because I feel like when you have trust, it's like when you trust blind, because that's the only way you can trust somebody, blind trust. Because when you start investigating and stuff, do you really trust somebody? That is like the highest form of like real like a closeness of a relationship.
Yeah.
Because that's when your friends become or acquaintance become friends. That's a level of trust. It's like each
one is like a step up. It's like acquaintance to friend, friend to best friends to lover,
lover to fiance to.
Yeah, for some reason I still don't have a ring from you, so that's weird.
That's wild, bro. Look, we haven't gotten to that level yet. That's a whole other level of commitment.
All right, now we'll talk after the episode. Okay, we'll talk after the episode.
I gotta be Big Spoon though.
I can't do that, bro. I'm too big for all that. Like, it get hot. Like, I need to be able to turn around and get away from you. Like, you got the nice vice grip.
Give him a bear hug. But no, that's to me that when that thing happened, it kind of opened my eyes to like what is trust and what is why is trust so fragile because after that point, like it took a lot for me to trust people because it's not always like because when you trust somebody, it's not like you trust them with your car. When you say like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this car," right, or anything, you was like, "Hey, I trust you with this." It's not just the material. It's not just the thing that you're giving them. It's like you're also giving them yourself, your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And when someone, even if someone's like, "Hey, yo, I trust you with my car, make it back okay," and they get in an accident, it was like,
yeah, I did that. That happened to me in Randolph.
exactly.
So I'll tell that story real quick, and then I'll segue to something else, kind of similar to what you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we were in college, and I think it was our senior year, maybe, because that's when Brother Ty had the Hyundai.
Yeah, the Hyundai.
Emphasis on the Hyundai, because that shit was like on his last wheel.
Bro.
What was it? It couldn't turn one way.
It couldn't turn.
It couldn't turn left. So all you could do is turn right. I was like, listen, I'm making a loop, so we gotta make sure we going somewhere on the right side of the road. It's on the left side of the road. We ain't going there. Right. Like I gotta make a turn early and then turn back around, hit the U, come back around. Like we're not going there if I gotta make a left turn. So it was one night. It was actually early in the morning. I think it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m., something like that. We had all been out partying. I think it was finals week. I think I took my last final and I was like, yo, let's turn up. Let's have a good time. I think our friend Daphne was like, hey, I need a way to get to the train station. Can you drive me? And I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, all right, just don't get too drunk, whatever. And I was like, bet.
Right.
So, of course, I'm drinking.
Wake up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I didn't even go to sleep. That was a crazy part. I take the exam, we drinking, partying. I stopped drinking at 12 because, you younger, so you like, all I need is 4 hours and I'm good. Right. So I take those 4 hours and I'm like, all right, let's go to this train station. And they were like, I think it was her and another girl, man. Her name was Amanda. Mm-hmm. She was in the car too. I'm like groggy. I'm like, all right, all I gotta do is get downtown, drop them off, turn around and come home. I'm driving. I hit the turn to go towards the train station.
Made a left.
I made it right. It was all right. It was all right. I know exactly where it was because I know where I crashed. So I made it right, and I'm driving. And then I think somebody said something really stupid, and like my brain was trying to register it, so I stopped looking at the road. I turned back, and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" Boom, 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 boom.
Oh no!
I hit the curb. It was like one of those curves that come out. It's like a small roundabout.
Yeah, yeah.
So like the curve is sticking out, and I like hit it. Tire immediately flat.
Oh god!
And in that moment, like I had no concept of how to change a tire or whatever. And he had a spare, luckily. But like I was like, oh shit! Like I gotta call the police. I don't even have my license at this point. Like I have a learner's permit. Right. So I was like, I don't even have a real license. I can't call nobody to be like, you shouldn't be driving in the first place. So I'm like in this panic, and I'm like, how am I gonna brace this Tory? Like I gotta buy new tires, and I don't really got that kind of money. So I'm just panicking, and I'm like, but I'm so tired in this moment that I'm calm. Like in my head, all that's going on. On the outside exterior, it's just like, hey, y'all okay? Y'all good? All right. Yeah, just call a taxi right here, pick you up. I'm going to figure this out. Yeah, just go ahead. Y'all right down the street. Right. So they call a taxi and get in. I'm sitting on the curb trying to change this tire, failing multiple times.
Oh, God.
Not realizing you have to put the parking brake on.
Oh, no.
So it's just every time I lift the car up, it just rolls off. I swear, I was sitting out there for like 2.5 hours. I called my dad and I was like, why are you up at 6 a.m.? 2, how do you change the tire? And he was like, did you put on the parking brake? I'm like, of course I put the parking brake on. I thought I had to do it in neutral. Nah. Put the parking brake on. I was like, what the fuck is neutral for? Anyway, I end up changing the tire. I get it back to the campus. It's barely makes it because it's 2 tires that went out. So it's just like,
oh my god.
So I'm just driving slow up that hill to go to the school. I parked the car and I'm like, hey, Ty, I gotta talk to you. And in that moment, he was so cool. He was like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, it's fine, whatever. I don't know how he was feeling inside, but he was super chill about it. Right. Because he just had that demeanor. But I was like, yo, I'll buy the tires, whatever. Like, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And when I said that, he was like, it's cool. It's not a big deal. Like, that car's a piece of shit anyway. Like, I'm surprised it made me this long. Right. But in that moment, I didn't think about how I probably betrayed his trust. If he trusted me to get from point A to point B and not have any issues. Instead, I got from point A to point A
A
and a
and a half?
half. Point A and a half, and like had to fix a car and turn back, and his car wasn't what he left with. So I betrayed his trust in that scenario. I didn't think about that. You know what? I might have to hit him up just ask him how he truly felt about that moment because he probably lost a lot of faith in me in that moment.
And I think that's a really good point because that's not even like, I mean, it's not like a deep childhood trauma, whatever. It's just like a general thing. Like, yo, I trusted this dude, come back with my car. He was cool about it, but I feel like you offering and being like, hey, yo, this is my bad. Like, let me help you out and stuff. I think that increase the because trust is a damn.
Yeah, I'm just laughing about my couch.
But. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, bro. It's like because I literally looked back at the couch when I was thinking because if you break something, right, you gotta own up to it.
I agree,
but it break material, break a heart, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll go into another story of where back in the day when I was just like, slanging, not doing like being a straight savage, just straight savage. Yeah, just straight savage and um completely ruined the trust of like the people that I was around and the people that cared about me and stuff like that. And I was like, whatever. Because to me, I was being selfish. I didn't think about how that would make them feel and how it would ruin our relationships. Like, there's relationships I have with people that, through me breaking their trust, went from being like we were best friends, talk every day and something to like ground. Like you start back at one, like you reset. Right. It's literally like you go back to zero. Like that's how like fragile trust is because you can just be on a high at one point, and then if you break somebody's trust, it'd be like, well, you gotta do a lot of work to get that.
It's almost irreparable.
Oh yeah.
Like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Oh no. You telling your story, but one quick story that I had, and since you were talking about your dad earlier, so it was like around the time, actually reunion, which we'll talk about next week. But one of the time, right around that reunion time, my dad got really sick. Like this is where he was like in and out the hospital, like really bad. And I was like, oh man, I can actually lose somebody in my family, like like a parent for the first time. Like that's new to me. That's something that nothing you go through can prepare you for a situation like that. So at the time, I was really close with this one friend who I worked with, and she came through and she was like, "Oh, you're quiet. What's going on?" And I was like, "Oh, well, like my dad's in the hospital, and like I don't know how to process this. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's going to survive." And her immediate response was, "Oh, I can't talk about stuff like that."
Oh my god.
And I'm like trying to come to this person who I thought was a friend for comfort, and she betrayed that trust. It was just like, listen, if it ain't about me, it ain't about me. I ain't about it. And in that moment, I was like, man, trust gone, friendship gone, everything gone. Because I don't need this type of person in my life. Because you ain't for me. You ain't like I ain't about it. Yeah. So and it was weird because like we were in the car going somewhere, and I was just like, yep, I know. As soon as I get up this car, it's the last time I see you.
Wow.
Like it was that easy for me to just know that I need to sever this tie.
Yeah,
because like trust, like you said, is very fragile, and when you break it, for me in certain situations, I'm not repairing it. Oh, yeah. Like you can try to repair it with me, but I'm not going to be like, oh, like, it's cool, like I got over it, because I ain't no simp, I ain't no bitch, bro. So right. Like if you fuck me over, I'm gonna remember it. I might be friendly if I happen to see you, but I'm not going to forget.
It's something very like internal, like deeply internal. When someone like breaks someone that you trusted and you cared for and something, and they ruin it. It's no like because you can try your best to get there. They can try their best to get there. It will never be the same. Mm-hmm. Or even if you were like you meet somebody like in person, like a new person, right? An acquaintance, a friend, whatever, a coworker. I will have a better connection with them than a person I knew for years and they broke my trust.
Yep.
Even if they're trying to like get it back, or like try to rebuild the bridge that they like burn, then it's like it's crazy because it should make sense, right? I've known this person for 5, 6 years, whatever, 10. however long, they break your trust, and you're just like, nope, dead. It's dead. I can be cordial,
And
you know.
no, I get that because I also like similar to you. Like I struggle with trust my whole life. Like I
Daddy
felt
wasn't dead.
Daddy was barely there. Barely. He was there, but he wasn't there. He was like, I'm a provider financially, but I'm not physically going to be there for you. I'm not going to be there for any games you have. I'm not going to be there for any concerts you do. I'm not going to be there for anything that is important to you.
Right.
I'll pay for things. I'm a bitch about it, but I'm gonna pay for things. Like you don't need new cleats. You don't need new. Like what do you mean? Like there's a whole like you could see my toe.
He was like, "Hey yo, you don't need no singlets.
Trauma coming back.
You could wrestle naked, dog.
Just sway. You don't need a cup. What? You ain't got nothing anyway. What you talking about? I'm like, why am I coming for myself? Yeah, I need to hear that. Anyway, but
He's like, you don't need a cup. What are you talking about?
but yeah, no. So like some things that rest in peace. That you can drink one for my dad.
Hey, drink one.
For Kenny.
Mr. Wiley. A real one.
A real one. Lime Margaritas and all.
Lime Margaritas and all. We have a Lime Margarita episode on his birthday.
Well, that's coming up. Actually, we're going to be coming back from reunion on his birthday.
We'll have a Lime Margarita on the way home.
I like that idea. But no, so coming from someone who you said you've had your trust lost before, is there any situation or scenario that you could speak to where someone regains your trust?
I mean,
and how did they do it?
I can't think of, because I feel like when the trust was lost,
or you feel like you regained someone else's trust. Maybe that's easy for you to think of.
In both cases, didn't work out. It ended up being like we became cordial with one another, but the relationship was never the same. I mean, the only one I can really speak on, I speak on a lot of people, but I wouldn't choose my dad. It's like the level of trust is he broke all my trust. The relationship that we could have had, that could have been great, like father son, Hallmark Channel, that daddy, no, baby boy, no, my bad. That's a bad example. God damn, what is a good black father and son?
No. Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Eventually.
All right. Also, why is that not that many good like dad, black father and son? It's a lot of black father and daughter.
You know what? Uncle Phil and Will Smith.
That's not his daddy though.
But it's basically
my dad won't dare. Literally the episode.
Why he don't want me, bro?
Why he don't want me, man? Why? Because all right.
Yo, heartbreaking episode.
Next episode, parent issues, daddy or mommy issues. We're coming back here. We're gonna bring us some trauma. Oh my god! But yeah, like when it comes to my dad, is like the relationship. I think at that point, it's so hard to rebuild because it's like the work that other person, either me when I broke trust with other people, it truly just ended the relationship. I barely even talk to those people, let alone see them anymore. Mm-hmm. For my father, because I can't get him with my dad. He's my dad, right? Mm-hmm. It's been slow over years. What, I'm 30 something now, and we've been rebuilding our relationship since I was 22. So it's still slow. I can't come to him. I can't talk. I can't spend like more than 15 minutes talking to this man without like a game on.
Yeah, something distracting.
Yeah, exactly. We have to talk about a game. We have to talk about music. We have to talk about.
You can't have any like deep conversations like we be having.
Ground zero. It's literally it's surface because that trust that I gave my heart to you is now gone because I saw you probably didn't know anything. I forget. I think the best thing that you do at this point is forgive them. When you break somebody's trust, let's say if you're in like a relationship, right? You in a hell of a battle. You're in a hell of a battle because when that trust is broken, the amount of stuff you have to do.
Right.
You thought your relationship or building a friendship or whatever was hard in the beginning. Oh no! Especially your child, a whole other level. You have to give, and not just financial, not just like material or whatever. You have to like give your soul to these people and be like, I'm gonna bend to you. let's talk, whatever, let's do things. You don't have to talk. I'm be the one that talks. You know, I want to try.
You got to take an interest in what they're passionate about, right, and like, get into that, and that way you can definitely sever those ties and build a relationship with them. It might not be as perfect as it could have been, but you can get as close as you can possibly get. Right. And I think that that's something important to share, is that not all trust is gone all the time. I mean, the situation with that girl who said, I can't talk about this, I will never speak to her ever. Right. There would be no situation where I'm like, oh, let's get a cup of coffee. No, you're dead to me. Like, right. And I think that's healthy to keep. Some relationships are better if you don't fix them. Yeah. And I think that was a scenario where I'm better for it because, as we all get older, our circles get a lot smaller. Yeah. And, people always feel as they get older, like, man, what happened to my friends? What happened to this? What happened to that? You just keep in contact with the ones who are most important to you. Yeah. And that's somebody who wasn't that important to me, so just let them go.
That's true. But I would say, like Elsa, but I would say,
Disney deep cut.
But I would say before we head off, and I want you to talk about it a little bit. I think extreme vulnerability from the person that caused the breaking of the trust. So for someone that broke the trust, I think that's the biggest thing. You have to be, that person has to be vulnerable, and I think that's the only way to fix it. It's them being deeply vulnerable and trying to.
You good over there, bro?
Situation? Absolutely not.
Oh God, what happened?
Absolutely not.
I got some technical difficulties. Where's that Simpsons meme?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, here we go. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about vulnerability. All right, y'all in the back. We're gonna edit. We got it in post. Okay. But yeah, no, the vulnerability part. I think that's the biggest, the only way you can actually rebuild trust. What do you think? If that person that girl that it is, you were vulnerable with.
She did.
She did.
She did. But no, I can speak to it in a situation where I was the person who betrayed the trust, and then I fixed the relationship. Let's tell people a love story of Samantha and Martin.
There you go.
Let's talk about this story.
What a way to blanket the end of the episode.
So once upon a time, there was this king. He lived atop a hill called Web. No, I don't want to talk about that like that. But no, me and Sam, we met my senior year in college, where I was on again, off again relationship with my now ex, obviously. Oh man, that's a name drop. We're gonna get that in post.
Definitely getting that in post.
Definitely getting that in post. I don't think you can fit it all. No. Anyway.
All right.
Okay, we're done. So yeah, so I was in this weird situation. I was on again, off again with my girlfriend at the time, and then I met this lovely lady. I almost said gentleman. I'm drunk. This lovely lady who became my wife. But I was afraid to commit to a situation because I was like, oh, eventually me and her are going to figure our stuff out and it's going to be fine, because I was enjoying a toxic type of love to the point where I couldn't receive someone who actually loved me for who I was. It was love me for the potential where I could be, which was, it was hard. And then she also scared me away. She'll laugh about this. So I don't feel bad saying it, but she said something like, "Oh man, our kids would be really cute," and I was like, "Yep," and we're done with this situation. It was too early on for me, scared me because we in college. I'm in college. Well, we're in college, but I'm not thinking about kids. I'm 21. Yeah. I'm not thinking about kids. I'm thinking about my next nut. No, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do after I graduate. I don't want this stress about where family and responsibility. I don't want to think about that. So in my head, I'm like, that's where she is. I can't be that for her. I need to sever this tie and do something else. So that's what I ultimately ended up doing. I was like, I needed to separate myself from this. And I didn't do it in the best way possible. It was kind of messy how I decided to go about it, which, I'm sad that it happened like that, but I'm grateful that we rebuilt this trust and now we're to the point where we're married. That took a lot of me, telling my side of the story, a lot of me, expressing my sympathy and how sad I was and how you didn't deserve that and how, I'm a better person and I'm in a better headspace and I'm gonna go through therapy. Well, that was another situation.
Another form of losing trust.
Another form of losing trust. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I never said I was perfect. I know I act like I have my shit together, but I'm a mental.
But that's what I said. That's what I was thinking when it came to vulnerability, because I was thinking about you literally those moments. Because I'm like, this man lost trust with his now wife. He built it back.
Everybody can't do this. Listen,
I
know everybody hears this story and they're like, "Oh yeah, me and my so and so broke up. We can be just like that." Nah, bro. You got to be really vulnerable. And I don't want to take away trust from people and like, "Oh man, I didn't want to hear that." Like, you have to be truly vulnerable, and you have to make sure that person receives it, and you have to kind of put a line and say like, "Hey, do you see this going anywhere?" Mm-hmm. If you don't see it going anywhere, like, we're both wasting each other's time.
Yes.
And there was a moment where in therapy, like Sam and I, we were just like being really casual. And I was like, listen, I really want to get back with you. I want to build to the point where we get married and have a family. Is that something that you can still see with me? Because if not, we're wasting each other's time. Mm-hmm. And she thought on it for a couple of days. And she was like, yeah, I do want to try this again. It's just going to take a while to regain this trust.
Oh, yeah. And I was there in the trenches. You were just like, bro, this shit is hard. I know I fucked up. Like you were vulnerable with me, and I was like, damn, this man really wants to do it. But I can see the lesser me, because I'm like, man, that shit hard. I ain't doing that shit. That's a lot of fucking work. But that's what you gotta do in order to build trust. That's why it's so easy when I can say like, hey, that person's dead to me, whatever. Because it's a lot of fucking work. A lot of people don't want to do that work.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't worth that work.
Right.
So I do think that if you sever a tie, you fuck up. Yeah, you might be a bad person to them for the rest of their life, like the homegirl is to me. But like, I don't think she misses our friendship.
Yeah, look at Taylor Swift. Sometimes the bad guy's me. It'll be okay.
And all her fans. But anyway, sorry, deep
cut. But no, you're right. You make a good point that sometimes you have to have that self awareness to be able to say like, is this trust or is this relationship worth trying to build back up? Because it's an uphill battle. If it is worth it, do it. Just you have to be more naked than you are like in the shower.
Yes.
With your soul. If you got defenses up, if you got your guard up, if you haven't gone to therapy, you haven't done the work, it's going to be hard because you're going to be looking at, well, what are they doing for me? Versus like, what can I do to rebuild this trust? Mm-hmm. And that is a lot of work. And I know this sounds like a downer towards the end of the episode, but it is possible to regain so much trust. You just got to do the work. Maybe first yourself. One, I would say first work on yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
If you break somebody's trust, first work on yourself. Know that you're in a good place. Two, think about, is this person really worth going back to that situation? Maybe a friendship, work relationship, whatever. And three, am I willing to put in the work? And when I mean work, I mean it's a 24-hour job.
But no, it's really like this has to be your priority. Like working on yourself is important. I say you do that. Once you get the piece together, you kind of get a healthy habits and routines of taking care of yourself. Next thing, hey, I need to fix this relationship because if it's that important to you, you'll make it a priority.
Right.
And that's kind of how I serve in this marriage. I make our marriage our priority, and I think that's the way to live a happy, healthy life with someone.
Exactly. Make people a priority. I didn't know what that shit. Actually, I'm gonna do an episode on priority. We're gonna do an episode on priority.
I got you. We got you. We got
you. Priorities, and there's some other dumb shit. What is values? Anyways, on that note, thank you guys for listening. We have been enjoying going back to our roots. If you guys have been enjoying it, let us know. This video is also gonna be on YouTube. So leave a comment down, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm so happy I can say that.
The Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity. If you got that bell icon, hit that bell icon. I watch way too much YouTube.
You're the addict.
I am the addict. But as I already promoted the YouTube, where else can they put their information or send us a comment or hate on us? Where can they send it to us?
Yeah, you can find us at Unsolicited Counseling on Instagram. You can find us at Unsolicited Counseling Podcast on Facebook. You can also shoot us an email at youadvicepodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, I'll drop the YouTube because I ain't know the link.
Oh, yeah, I got you. So the link on YouTube is just Unsolicited Counseling, one word. My bad, I hit the mic. Yeah, we'll get it in post. Anyway, yeah, you can just find us at Unsolicited Counseling on YouTube as well.
All right, guys, and as always, we're here for you guys. We love you guys. Oh my god.
We love you guys. We're here for you guys.
One drink at a time, one episode at a time.
Easy, y'all.
Ladies, I'm gonna get it. It's like we got to have